If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your faded words I will choke.
Happy Fantasy Draft Friday to everyone in the sports universe. It is September the 2nd, 2022. This is AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvella saying happy season 2, Aaron, of football on the AM Drive.
I know we made it. We made it over a year now, and very excited. You know, I'm super excited for just picking games and football being back, and it's a weird sense of comfort. Like, you know, you have these weekends that just, you know, football on the TV screens all weekend, and I don't know. There's something like kind of calming and, you know, I don't know, something real good about it. Fall is good. The weather's changing. The weather's changing. The football's on. Not a lot to be mad about when that happens.
Love it. Go to MikeandAaronDrive.com to shop our merchandise, really. Also, you can find the YouTube link, or you can search AM Drive with Mike and Aaron on YouTube. Aaron, I'd like to let the people know about a new partner we have. But I don't know if I should show the graphic on here or Monday. Should I do it now?
Yeah, I think you should announce it and then show the graphic leading up to it.
The AM Drive and the AM Drive Weekend Kickstart will be and is supported by Wager Wire. Give me a hand of applause, man.
A hand of applause?
Or a round of applause. Woohoo!
Oh, here, you can.
Woohoo! Oh, I was the wrong way. Thank you. Our good friends at Wager Wire are busy building the StubHub for sports bets. For the first time, you'll be able to buy and sell previously placed sports bets on an easy-to-use marketplace. Plus, they sync with your favorite sports books to show you all of your bets in one portfolio. You can even sell just part of a bet and lock in your profits without having to bail on your team. Drop them a follow and enter your email at wagerwire.com for early access. If you do, you'll be entered to join them with Brett Favre Week 3 on a special Wager Wire Live. And again, if you haven't seen the Twitter page yet, you might as well. It's on AM Drive TV. You can check out the Weekend Kickstart and save it in your spaces. Because next Friday, every Friday this NFL season, 7 to 8 Eastern, it's your boy and occasionally this guy. But you named it, so I have to give you all the credit there.
I mean, it's a team effort, Mike. We're a team. We're the AM Drive. It's not the A Drive or the M Drive. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. I will be probably on a majority of these Friday weekend kickstarts, and we'll be talking about bets. We'll be talking about wagers. We'll be talking about, you know, previewing games and anything else that goes on in the sports world to get you ready for the weekend in sports. So make sure you're checking out our Twitter Spaces. I'm super excited for that. I've never actually hosted a Twitter Space. I've like talked on Twitter Spaces, but this is really cool. And those Twitter Spaces, I think they can record too. So maybe we'll put those up on our Spotify channel and things like that. So
hey, it might be only exclusive. Who knows? Well, yeah. All right. Well, thank you to Wager Wire. And now let's get back, because remember, next week we're going to have them as our partner. Just want to tease that for you guys. The chips, they covered late. The blue bag of Doritos, if you will. We're down by as much as 36 to Oklahoma State, who, Aaron, I'll give us no credit here because we both kind of said CMU would keep it close. You said, I don't know if Oklahoma State's going to come out, but as always, Vegas knows better than we. And they were up. But hey, late cover helps out. But Oklahoma State did kind of run away with this thing like Vegas thought it would. Just the backdoor cover was kind of cute.
Yeah, I think we were actually just on the wrong end of this, but we got lucky. I mean, it took basically Oklahoma State putting in their second and third team guys for the Chips to come back and really make this a 14-point game, which this was never that close. I believe it was like 51-20 going into the fourth quarter or something like that. 51-22. So yeah, they were definitely getting over on them. But hey, a cover is a cover. Like you said, good teams win, great teams cover. So thank you for the Chips on that one. It helped me help the three-teamer that we got tonight. And this was all three of my games were really tough in my three-team parlay last night. So this was one of them. It was actually more of the easier one, so to speak, because of the big number. But yeah, congratulations, Coach Gundy, for getting his 150th. And Oklahoma State's on the board, 1-0.
Yep, not much to say about that, but maybe Mike Gundy got something for Oklahoma Sooners this year, considering they have a new look. Maybe Oklahoma State can beat them out a few times. We'll see.
Well, and you got Spencer Sanders, who started off a Heisman campaign with a bang, 406 passing yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yep.
So I mean, that's always a good start. I know Central Michigan was a shell of itself last year, but hey, 6 touchdowns is nothing to slouch at.
Agree. Living up to the billing, Pittsburgh escaped West Virginia. It
Yes.
took a battle of a piss and poop for this one because Keon Slovis and JT Daniels were just as bad as we advertised them yesterday. They were not good. JT Daniels, in typical USC overrated quarterback fashion, threw a pick 6, and that was how Pitt rallied. They were down 7, tied it up. West Virginia looked like they were going to kick a field goal and win it, and they got cute, and Pittsburgh said, no, we're taking this one 56 yards, our yard direction. Just, hey, good for Pitt, but I wouldn't be excited about this.
No, it's not anything to be happy about if you are Pitt, because nothing against West Virginia, but this isn't a team that you really should have struggled with. Now, another team in my parlay here, Pittsburgh, like you said, they had to struggle to win this backyard brawl. The defense, which was supposed to be their calling card, gave up 31 points to JT Daniels and company. So yeah, I wouldn't be happy if I was Pitt. You get out of there with a win. You have to take week 1 with a grain of salt too. I mean, these guys don't get a preseason like the pros do. Ultimately, I think Pittsburgh still has a chance to kind of right that ship. Keon Slovis didn't play terribly. I don't know. A lot of people on Twitter and things were roasting him. I don't think he played terribly. He didn't play well, but there's room. There's an upside there. There's room for improvement, and that defense has just got to get better. Otherwise, the season they expect to have will be thrown off by the lack of defense, if that's going to be the case for the team here. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, for the Panthers, I don't know what else to say really with that. As far as West Virginia shouldn't have been a team you struggled with, and shouldn't have been a team you gave up 31 to.
Agreed. Another thing is, I believe you picked Pitt in your ACC predictions. I mean, I don't know how much thought you put into that, but I
didn't
picked
pick
North
Pitt
Carolina.
at all.
I thought you did pick Pitt.
No, I didn't pick Pitt at all.
I could have swore you were more confident on Pitt.
I mean, I'm fine with them. I mean, like I said, Keon Slovis is not a slouch in the grand scheme of quarterbacks in college football. He's probably a mid-tier guy, and you're going to be able to win games with a mid-tier guy. That's fine. Like I said, with week 1, things are going to get a little wonky. These guys don't have preseasons. They have camps, but they don't scrimmage against other teams. So, week 1, if the CMU Oklahoma State game was in week 4 or 5, Cowboys probably don't let CMU come back in that spot because they're playing for style points. Week 1, a little different. You just get that win and you worry about, being sexy later for the panel, for the college football playoff.
Yes, sir.
Right now you just get that win. I mean, for me, Pitt escaping with that win is fine. Ultimately, I think Clemson will probably win the ACC this year with that just incredible defense. And then hopefully DJ Laley.
Yeah, he's horrible.
I don't know if horrible is the right word. He's
Yeah,
not.
he's bad. He slimmed down, supposedly.
But the thing is, you're saying he's bad based on the fact that they've just gone through Taj Boyd, Trevor Lawrence, and Deshaun Watson. So it's an
Standard is
unfair
here,
comparison.
he is here.
Correct, but he's not bad. I think he's fine enough to win in a terrible ACC division.
Fair enough. Or conference, yeah.
Or conference, yeah.
All right, I threw this one in here because it was part of your three-teamer, I believe, and I was high on this game. I thought it was a very underrated game of the week. Sean Clifford and Penn State. I don't know if you caught the heroics in this one, but Sean Clifford pulled his inner JT Daniels out of one hat. Then the other hats, he pulled out a game-winning touchdown pass to ice the game and beat the Boilermakers of Beck. So Purdue actually played this one well. I thought Purdue was going to win the game. I had a plus 3.5. And once you know it, that touchdown made them lose by 4 because that's just how it works. But I thought this was a very good game. I feel like Sean Clifford, the whole reason I had him to lose and with Penn State is because he threw interceptions. The other guy for Purdue did not. And yet he rebounds from his pick 6. He's a gamer, if anything. I've learned that from Sean Clifford over the 6 years. I believe he's been the quarterback.
Yeah, it does feel that way. Yeah, this was the one that I had to sweat out and complete my parlay.
Good job
today
for you, though.
or last night. But yeah, it was nice, but I did not like the sweat. And the fact of the matter is Penn State, if they want to be anything in the Big Ten, no offense to Purdue, but this is a team you just really have to beat with kind of relative ease, and they did not. I mean, they needed everything in their they needed everything in their power to beat Purdue. And albeit on the road, I understand that, but Sean Clifford's.
Okay.
I can't figure out what to make of this guy. I mean, he does put up the numbers. He is Mr. Glass. The guy gets hurt all the time. Did you see that dive that the Purdue defender went? I don't think it was on purpose, but the fact of the matter is like he tackled him down around that that repaired ACL. So of course that never goes well. Penn State's in trouble if this is the way they're going to play. So I know that a lot of people are high on Penn State this year, and again, week 1.
They're supposed to have a defense too, right?
That's what I'm saying, though. Week 1, don't panic. But this was not a good start to the season for Penn State.
Yep, the button has been moved into the room. As Kevin Wildes on First Things First said, the panic button is not impressed, but it's being set up. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it was an impressive end, I will say, to the game. I will say that. But I mean, if you're Penn State, don't feel proud about this win. Even if your coach calls it a gutsy win. Who
was the coach? That's that James Franklin guy, right?
Yes. His first words were gutsy win. I don't agree with that.
I don't either, but I'm just saying people are. So, when we come back, we're picking the games on Saturday and one on Sunday because Aaron's a homer. But stay tuned also for the AM Drive 5, and it is Fantasy Draft Friday. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to go. We'll be right back. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, and welcome back here to the AM Drive here on this Fantasy Draft Friday, this College Football Friday edition, and we are presented by Fanatics. It's very simple. If you want the best in sports memorabilia, merchandise, and apparel, you have to go to mikeandaarondrive.com and do what?
Click that thing up there, that F thing up there. Thing, yeah.
Well played. Yes, great, fantastic. Yes, you got to click the F, and when you click that F, it takes you into the Fanatics store where you can shop until your heart's content by clicking and adding to cart times a million. And when you do that, it helps out this AM Drive show tremendously. And for that, we thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings?
No, I'm okay with coming in second place out of 2. Oh well. Hey, good website, though. Good website.
It is. I mean, like you said, college football starting up, NFL starting up, basketball and hockey are right around the corner, MLB playoffs, it's all coming up here. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to support your favorite teams and show your team pride at Fanatics.
Even if they retire early.
Yeah, exactly. That's still your team pride.
I love that jersey, man. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. Let's get straight into the hammer down, okay? It's number 5 Notre Dame with new head coach Marcus Freeman. It's number 2 Ohio State with Ryan Day. C.J. Stroud, Trevion Henderson, the running back. Jackson Smith, I'm not going to try to pronounce that last part, are all returning for the Buckeyes. I did not know this, but in doing research for this game, and I put it in the topics for you, Marcus Freeman is a former Buckeyes linebacker. It means nothing to this matchup, but I thought it was pretty cool. Ohio State is minus 17, and the total is 59. I have a pick for this game because it's not in my AM Drive 5, so I'm just going to tell you right now, I like the under 59, but you might sweat it. What are your thoughts on the game going forward?
My initial thought is looking at this spread, it's 17. Yep. My initial thought is the haves and the have-nots are showing themselves early. I mean, you look at the top 2 teams in the nation, Ohio State, Alabama.
Yep.
You could maybe make an argument that Georgia's like right below. I know they just lost a bunch of defensive players, but they are the defending champs. And then it just seems like there's just everyone else.
Yeah.
So, and yes, for me, I understand what Marcus Freeman says, like, this means nothing despite the fact that I was a linebacker for Ohio State. I was a grad assistant, I believe, for Ohio State, a coach for Ohio State. He's going to feel like a son who's coming back to show dad, like, all that I've done. I want to make you proud, Dad. But yeah, at the end of the day, when the whistle starts and the clock starts, it means nothing. Ohio State has just bigger, better, faster, stronger athletes. And I don't know if Marcus Freeman is up to the task in his first game. However, the loser of this game, I believe, is pretty much going to be eliminated from the playoffs.
Wow.
I know that sounds like a bombshell, but losing this first game, you have to be perfect. And we know that both of these teams, I mean, Notre Dame more so than Ohio State. Ohio State still has a chance if they can run the table. But, losing another game, the college football playoff has never accepted a 2-loss team. Never in the history of college football playoff. So you basically have to go perfect the rest of the season. So this is a tough one to be a part of. And, we talk about this all year, every year. Teams don't want to schedule big time opponents in the beginning of the season. And from a college football playoff standpoint, I don't blame them. But from obviously we want the best action we can have, the best games we can watch. This is a phenomenal start to the season.
Yeah.
That all being said, I just don't think Notre Dame can hang with Ohio State. Now, do I want to lay 17? I don't know. I mean, anything can happen. Like you said, a coast 14-point victory is totally in the cards for Ohio State at this point. But the real spotlight will be on C.J. Stroud. Like, I think he's the Heisman favorite this year. I know Bryce Young is still here. I know Bryce Young won, but it's really hard to win twice. It only happened once. Yeah. And even in spots where I thought guys should have won twice, Jameis Winston, Tim Tebow, just to come off top of the head, they haven't. So right. I think C.J. Stroud is the guy to watch this year, and it starts with what is perceived as a top-tier Notre Dame defense. I don't see the Irish hanging with them. So I think Ohio State wins in a rout. Just don't know if I want to lay 17 here in this spot.
I got 34-21 Buckeyes. I think the Irish will not suffer as bad as people think. Not because of this matchup, but like in terms of like Brian Kelly's gone. I don't care. I feel like they are who they are. I feel like Marcus Freeman can do good enough. I don't know about this game, obviously. So pick it how you want. I just like the under because I like both teams. I think both teams' defenses can be okay. I think we might sweat it late, but I'm going under 59 as my best one here if I had a gun to my head.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a guy, Tyler Buckner. Well, he played last year, but he's making his first career start in the horseshoe. Good luck.
Right. Might as well lay 17 then.
I mean, I would probably lean toward that.
Okay.
That's a big number. Like, that's a big number to lay in week 1,
Yep.
But
all right.
Notre Dame did have success against new defensive coordinator Jim Knowles last year in the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, they did lose, but they scored 35 points against them. So, never know.
Fair enough. Number 11, whack against number 3, woof. It's the Ducks and the Dogs. Come on, that was good. The Ducks. Boo. Duckies and the Doggies. Obviously, the elephant in the room here is the coach of Oregon. Obviously, Dan Lanning is the last 3 years Georgia defensive coordinator. Georgia, from that defense last year, had a 7-round record, 15 players drafted, including, I believe, like 5 defensive players in the first round, which including Trayvon Walker, who, give it or take as the number 1 pick. So, Aaron, I want Georgia to be this really good team, but I'm concerned that Oregon could have them on. I mean, not say it, but I feel like it could be a thing. I feel like it could be an upset alert, like closer than people think it could be. I would not be surprised if this game is 27-20 in favor of Georgia, but they have to kind of do things right more than just coast to a win like Ohio State could.
This one's tough. I mean, Oregon has to come all the way across the country to play the defending champions in Atlanta. It's a home game basically for Georgia. They seem to get these kickoff classics right in their backyard every year.
Yeah, convenient.
I don't know if I could lay – I definitely don't think I could lay 17. You're correct. But I definitely think that Georgia shouldn't have too much trouble with this team. I think a nice arm's length 10 to 13 point victory is probably here. Probably here for the Bulldogs here. But people are giving Stetson Bennett all this crap. Like, no, he's not Bryce Young. No, he's not C.J. Stroud. But I think he's a competent quarterback. I mean, he beat out JT Daniels, who we just watched last night. I mean, I know that's not saying much. He didn't have a great game, but I'm just saying, like, he's been able to hold off a lot of guys. Is he a pro quarterback? No. Probably not. But sometimes college football or college quarterbacks don't necessarily translate to the NFL, but they are successful in college. You know, all this storyline with Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning, like even Kirby said it himself, like, we're not playing football on Saturday. Like, the kids are playing football. Like, I don't trust Bo Nix to beat not Auburn, but I don't trust Bo Nix to beat Georgia.
He's 0-3 versus Georgia when he was at Auburn.
He's 0-3, and he's got one total touchdown in 3 games. No, I don't. Again, pick's not in my AM Drive 5. I'd probably lean towards Oregon. You know, keeping it close, like I said, 13-point, 33-20 kind of thing. Actually, not even that much. Probably in the realm of like 28-17, 28-14 kind of thing. Like,
that's
I don't even know if Georgia can get. I think Georgia could probably get 30 on these guys. So yeah, so somewhere in between 28 and 30 is where Georgia falls.
So under 54 as well.
Yeah, it's a lean.
Fair enough. Number 23, Cincinnati. Number 19, Arkansas. Luke Fickell has got to retool some things here against the rising. Well, to be fair, the Razorbacks have been rising in the preseason for like the last 5 or 6 years, and nothing ever comes out of it. But hey, KJ Jefferson's still there. The starter for Cincinnati will not be announced until kickoff. I know they probably already have the starter, all like jokes aside, but it's not a great look. This one's 6.5 in favor of Arkansas. I'm not excited either way. What is your thoughts on this game?
Well, I have a bet on this game in my AM Drive picks, so I won't go too much into detail with it because I don't want to give away too much that I'm going to be giving you. But, I mean, let's look at it this way. You know, Cincinnati has basically lost the best player potentially in their history of their program in Desmond Ridder. They are probably... Well, Sauce Gardner's there as well. And then, of course, Jerome Ford is gone, too. I mean, yeah, Sauce Gardner went...
Yes, I have him in Dynasty League. Thanks for mentioning him.
Yeah, so, I mean, you have to look at this as a situation of a G5 team like Cincinnati. I look at it like UCF. I mean, UCF went undefeated 2 years in a row and really hasn't been able to get back on that pinnacle ever since. You know, I mean, G5 recruiting is literally not retooling. It is rebuilding. And I think KJ Jefferson and company might be able to take advantage of, a Cincinnati team that's not just quite there. So, again, I think you kind of see where I'm going here with this. But
you always do it for us. I love it.
I mean, there's no way to preview a game and have an opinion about it if you don't kind of already tip your hand. But let's I'm still going to save it here for the AM Drive 5 picks on the next segment.
I got Arky minus 6.5. I mean, that's just, I had him anyways. So there's that.
Maybe I did too.
This next one is in my AM Drive 5. It's Rice. It's number 14 USC. And obviously the big name here is, hey, Lincoln Riley's the coach of the Trojans. I don't know if you haven't heard, but I mean, it's true.
He is?
So Rice was actually 4-8 last season. And that's their flex of last year because that was their best since 2015. Now, granted, USC was also 4-8. So, interesting. Fun fact here, Lincoln Riley was 23-2 against Texas teams in his coaching career. Don't know if that means anything. Being in Oklahoma, playing the Rices in the North Texas is in the, Texas Christian School for blind and deaf people. But, hey, it's cool flex there. Again, for me, I'm going to leave it alone for now, but let's just say don't drink the Kool-Aid from USC just yet.
Well, I can say this week you should drink all the Kool-Aid for USC.
Okay.
They're going to run over Rice, no problem, and everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows in Southern California here. Look at the transfer portal and what it's done for Lincoln Riley. Obviously, getting his own guys, Caleb and Mario Williams from Oklahoma.
Toes!
Jordan Addison, the Bolitnikoff winner. You have Jerry Rice's kid, who was at Colorado last year, who didn't do much, but just add another name. And then, of course, Travis Dye, the leading rusher from Oregon last year. Like, they just literally built a team in the transfer portal. Now, how much of that was NIL money, I don't know, but I'm leaning on the over on this one. I think USC is looking at getting probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 points on Rice, and I think Rice can get 1 or 2 touchdowns, because the reason I'm not as high on USC is their defense. They did really next to nothing to improve it, and it was pretty damn bad last year. So, I'm leaning the over on this one, 61.5 for me. And, yeah, the Lincoln Riley era will begin with a big blowout, but ultimately I am not high on USC this season.
Just a little fun fact here, a little fun line I wrote down. I'm not drinking the ingredients of plugging Lincoln Riley to a 4-8 team, adding some transfers, and it'll taste like red and gold Kool-Aid automatically. That's just my sorry.
Well, if you think they're college football playoff contenders this year, you will be disappointed.
Agreed.
But I think they're probably somewhere around an 8 to 9 win team. Maybe 8 win team.
7, 8.
Okay, you can call it 7 to 9, whatever you want to do. I mean, it's all the same.
Fair enough.
They're gonna go to some random bowl, but they're not. But year 2 is really going to be where the expectations will go through the roof, because you have Caleb Williams in another year, a full year, and that's where he'll be probably really into the Heisman race next year.
University of Texas El Paso against number 9 Oklahoma.
You
want to do Bama first?
No. OU's good.
Okay. So Oklahoma, obviously, this one is because Lincoln Riley just left Oklahoma. So there's obviously, Brent Venables, the former Clemson defensive coordinator, has got some shoes to fill. Hey, Aaron.
Aaron. I didn't know. I thought that was rhetorical. Hey, Mike.
Who's the quarterback for Oklahoma?
That's a great question. I believe it is Dylan Gabriel. Can you give me a second? Jeez.
That was I can't believe I thought okay, that was a good play. I like that. But no, I mean Oklahoma's minus 30, the over under is 57. What is your thoughts on this game?
OU's good.
I have my AM Drive 5.
I don't have it in my AM Drive 5, although there may be a play on it. OU should just roll in this one. UTEP is nothing. I mean, let's be honest here at this point. Dylan Gabriel's coming in. He's an incredible quarterback who's going to have better weapons than he did at UCF. He's going to have his old offensive coordinator in Jeff Lebby. So this is a 5 to 6 touchdown win for OU.
I would say I like that. And I'll leave it there. Utah State Aglets, against the number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide. Woo! Alabama's minus 42. That's a lot of points, man. And the total is 57. For Alabama, obviously, you got the Bryce Young. You got that freakish linebacker returning as well. Forgot the guy's name, but he's pretty stinking incredible.
Will Anderson.
Yeah, he's like people talk about Trayvon Walker being a freak. No, Will Anderson is a productive freak. That sounded really weird, but you get it. I like Alabama. This is also my AM Drive 5, but Utah State's not a pushover here. And there's talks that Alabama, similar to Oklahoma State, could be, chewing some transfers here. So while this is in your boy Cinco de Mayo, just let you know that Alabama may not come out all roses either.
I don't know where you got that idea. They're going to come out and kill this team. I mean, yeah,
Utah State covering 42. Go ahead.
That's always the classic issue with Alabama. I mean, Alabama first half's probably around 20. That's probably the play. They're going to be up 24, 28-0 going into the locker room in the first half. Like, Alabama first half is like death and taxes. I mean, it's just you can just bank on it. But I mean, you look at this team, Utah State. They struggled with UConn last week. I mean, they struggled with UConn last week. So that's all I really need to know. I mean, they let UConn run all over them, and now you've got the Tuscaloosa Tide coming in, or I guess you're coming into their building and taking that $2 million paycheck, and
Wow.
the doors are going to get blown off of blowing the roof off of Bryant Denny Stadium. Yeah, Will Anderson is incredible, and of course you have Bryce Young, and I just don't see a way where Utah State even is competitive in this game. Now, 42, like you said, do they let off the gas at the end? Do they, do they? It's always the play against Alabama is how to figure out what they're going to do at the end of the football game when they're up by 5 touchdowns. So, yeah, I'd probably lay Alabama 42 here.
Okay. Bryce Young, who I love, by the way, like if there's any time where I would be with the leg, be nice. If there was any time I would lay 42 with Alabama, it would be with Bryce Young at quarterback. Remember, after he broke a passing record at Alabama last year for his first career start, I was one of the first ones to say, I think he's pretty dang good. And I was a Tua guy. So I think this guy's already way better than Tua. And Tua's in the NFL.
Of course he is. He won a Heisman Trophy.
Well, that's true, too. But I was a big Tua, grew on me a lot. So I think Bryce Young could lay 42. I'm telling you, something about those transfers coming in there and starting for Alabama. And Utah State led the nation in sacks last year, I believe. Just letting you know.
I mean, that's the thing. You can't. It's hard to really lay this because you could Utah State could get beat 49 to 17, and you're like, well, they cover it. They still got their doors blown off. I mean, like, I don't know what I mean. Covering a spread and winning a football game or being competitive in a football game are sometimes two different things when you're going up against Alabama. And Alabama is literally a 6-touchdown favorite against a team who's already played a game. Like, yes, can Utah State cover? Sure. Are they going to ever be in this? But are they ever going to be in this game? No, they're not. So I don't like to lay 6-touchdown spreads. Like, it's just insane. Like, it's
okay then.
It's like I'm never going to be anywhere near Alabama in big numbers. It's just, I'd rather have Alabama against a team, with a 14 spread. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Especially the first week of the season when Bama's up by 40. All the fans have left Bryant Denny. Nick Saban's pissed off because all the fans left, and these players deserve better. I have no. I mean, the thing is that Alabama is going to walk right underneath week 1. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to give a damn because of all these other great matchups.
What? Sunday, there is football Sunday. If you didn't know, it's Florida State Seminoles against the LSU Tigers. The fact that LSU is in the Superdome with a new coach and only getting 3 is pretty funny, in my opinion, because it shows you he's really cheesy and a bum. Like, to me, Notre Dame, like, people act like Brian Kelly was some Jesus Christ over there. They probably don't think that, but people outside of Notre Dame might think that. Catholic joke. But my thing is with Brian Kelly, how many times did Brian Kelly come into a game with Notre Dame where they played a really good team and they just get their doors beat off of them? I feel like this is going to be like a walkthrough for most. I feel like Alabama's going to walk through LSU. I feel like Georgia's going to walk through. Everyone's going to walk through LSU while Brian Kelly's there. Because I saw when they were in the national championship game, they were not even competitive at Notre Dame. So I believe Florida State is going to win this game and make the Tigers look silly.
Wow, that's a healthy prediction. I mean,
thank you.
I love to agree with you. Brian Kelly is one of the top 5 head coaches in college football.
Oh my God.
And he's moving into a program that will give him anything and everything he needs to be successful. Don't forget, Brian Kelly had restrictions at Notre Dame, same as Marcus Freeman will have. Yes, Notre Dame gets good teams. Yes, Notre Dame gets good players, but they have to maintain an academic standard for their university. LSU don't care. What do you need? This kid's got character issues? Fine. Bring him on. We'll deal with those issues later.
He wants to smoke crack cocaine? Come on, kid.
This kid's got a rap sheet? Whatever. We'll keep him under wraps. I ultimately believe that LSU is going to trot out Jaden Daniels, the Arizona State transfer. But ultimately, Kelly has still not named a quarterback, unless he has just recently, and I haven't seen it. But the Brian Kelly era for LSU begins now. I think he's going to be successful. Not this year necessarily, but I think ultimately he will be successful. Don't sleep on Brian Kelly. Now, this game is tough because I really didn't have high hopes for Florida State this year. And for them to kind of come in and if they beat LSU and to be 2-0 right now, that would be the hype train will be on the rails here at this point. I think ultimately LSU gets a tight victory here. Like real tight, like 1 point, like game-winning field goal. Like, I'm gonna take Florida State to cover here.
Wow, I don't like covering 3.
I think you just said Florida State's gonna win. What's the difference?
I need a hook if you're gonna do all that.
You just said Florida State's gonna win. What do you mean?
But if you tell me this is gonna be close, I need a hook there. I'm surprised you would say that. Like you would take the 3. That's weird.
I'd probably take the 3 with Florida State. I mean, the running game is going to be the calling card for Florida State. Obviously, we saw it last week against Duquesne. 3 guys, 100 yards. First time in school history they've done that. Of course, you have Jordan Travis, who actually is growing on me a little bit each week. And last year he grew on me a little bit more too. But this one's going to be tough. I think LSU gets a squeaker. It's quite unfortunate, but Brian Kelly will usher in his LSU tenure with a dub. I'm going to say it's like 21-20, something like that.
You have a lot of faith in these new coaches of these places, man. I'm telling you.
It's Brian Kelly. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in college football. I don't think you understand the magnitude of what he's going to be able to do with a full complement of NIL resources in the SEC.
Here's the thing. He was force fed to me at NBC, kind of like the Falcons are here locally on Fox. I learned to see what they're about, and Notre Dame is one of the most overrated teams I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, but Notre Dame, like I said, Notre Dame has academic standards that will kind of handcuff them in today's NIL and college football landscape. Marcus Freeman will go through the same thing. They'll always be a top 10 program, or every year in and year out. They'll be there. They'll get some bids they're not supposed to get, and they'll get destroyed by these teams. Like college football, the landscape's changing, whether you like it or not. It's something a lot of people don't think about right now. Like, we're losing rivalries. Like, if USC and UCLA are going to the Big Ten, like we're losing Pac-12 rivalries. We're losing Big 12 rivalries when Oklahoma and Texas go to the SEC. Like,
wow.
Like, college football landscape is going to change. And Notre Dame, with their academic standards, is going to get left in the dust.
Woo!
Like, they're going to get left holding the bag here at this point. And I don't know. It's kind of a bittersweet notion. Like, don't take this last season for granted. But college football, the landscape is going to change drastically next year.
I know it didn't just rain, but Jesus just dropped a tear.
I'm just saying, like, it does suck though. It could be for the better. I don't know, but we're gonna be losing a lot of rivalries. We're gonna be looking at a very different college football, especially when the college football playoff expands, which I think is going to happen sooner rather than later.
Thank God. That's it for this segment. Coming up, Fantasy Draft Friday. We'll explain what we're doing, and also AM Drive 5 Season 2 is back. We'll be right back to the AM Drive. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch, at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah, you want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, it's almost that time. Fantasy football is almost among us. The season starts September 8th if you are into fantasy football. But you got to do it with Yahoo Fantasy. And not only Yahoo Fantasy in the AM Drive. Go to MikeandAaronDrive.com, click that Yahoo Fantasy app, sign up for a team, or if you're a commissioner, sign up for a league.
Yep.
Get started with Yahoo Fantasy today. The sooner the better, because you don't want to be shut out from winning and talking smack amongst your friends.
I dig it. Is this the last fantasy draft Friday? Like the last fantasy draft for a while because we have the football and the AM Drive 5?
It might be. Yeah, I think it might be.
It's the end of an off season, man. I need your hat off.
Maybe our AM Drive 5 becomes our what do you call it? Our barometer for the bet we made.
Just rest on our boob.
Well, I have like a little wrinkle in the thing there. So,
okay.
Anyways, yeah, this might be it for a while. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, what is this one? Explain it, because you're the one who kind of got this up.
All right, so today's Fantasy Draft Friday is NFL MVP candidates. It's actually not going to be a 5-burger. It's going to be a 4-piece here. We're each going to draft 4 candidates that we believe will win the MVP this season. Now, there is a wrinkle. Of the 4, we must have 1 quarterback, 1 running back, and 1 wide receiver, and then 1 player who could be anything.
Oh.
So, with that being said, I will give you first pick in today's fantasy draft.
All righty. You know, it's funny. Like, you knew I would do something crazy here. It's like, here's the thing. I'm high on a few teams, okay? You've got them of the world. I want to say the name because I want you to draft them. But you've got a betting favorite to win the MVP. But I'm not stupid. I understand what could actually happen here. I'm gonna go with my first pick being Patrick Mahomes. You can take the other guy all you want to, man. I'll go Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Patrick Mahomes with Tyreek Hill gone. You're laughing. Everybody's just riding off the Chiefs. I'm telling you what, man. Mahomes boy, cook him up. 5,000 yards again.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at that at all. I mean, he was one of the options I had here. I think definitely this year more than ever, he would be eligible for a real, like, legit most valuable player. For me, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take the favorite, especially with my first round pick here. It's Josh Allen. I mean, he's the favorite to win the MVP this year, so it makes perfect sense to bring him aboard this team and already take a small leg up on you in the fantasy draft.
Lord have mercy. You're up 35-15. So I guess I owe you a $50 Fanatics gift card because technically, you did win. So maybe
I
I can
haven't
like
gotten
get a
there
little
yet. I
juice
got to
on it.
get to 50. I got to get to 50.
Okay, cool. I'll take my savings there. My next one, I really want one running back, but I'm gonna have to go with the one that's safe. I'm a big Colts fan, right? And I know like Matt Ryan's our quarterback, and I've been, smack talking about, Mr. the return of the man who led Tom Brady 28-3. But I'm gonna go with the running back here, Jonathan Taylor, because I feel like Derrick Henry is like older, in my opinion. Like he's getting older, he's coming off an injury. John Taylor to me has better vision. So I'll take Jonathan Taylor as my running back here. And who knows, I could get Derrick Henry later if you don't. So we'll see.
Fair enough. You could possibly get Derrick Henry. I'm kind of in that same boat with you in terms of, we saw Derrick Henry break down. I kept wondering for years when that train was going to need repairs.
And smack you in
Uh,
the face.
I'm going to go back to the QB because I think this guy is actually going to win MVP this year.
Oh.
And that is Lamar Jackson.
Wow. Okay, you stole him from me. That was my wild card.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson is my any spot pick. I figured I might need to get him early just in case. So yeah, give me Lamar Jackson as my
that.
flex position MVP, so to speak.
I like that. Next up for me, I guess I'll just pick a wide receiver here. I'm gonna go with. I got two young guys here. I mean, it's so hard to win. This guy's not gonna win it, but dang, it'd be cool if he did.
Has any wide receiver ever won MVP?
Probably. Jerry Rice, I think. Right?
Yeah, probably. That's probably it. I don't know. I don't even know if he's won one. I'm sure he has.
I could have swore when I was doing the research he had, but we'll see. As you're doing that, I'm gonna go with the guy who I trust the quarterback of more. But then that would be stupid because then the quarterback with the credit here. Yeah, I'll go with Jamar Chase. I'll take him. I think Jamar Chase. I like his. If that special duo between him and Burrow is good, it's going to be awesome. Let's just pray that nobody else on the Bengals shows up receiving. But obviously, if you kind of take what you get with that one, you're like, oh, well, Joe Burrow might win the MVP instead, anyways.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. To me, unless there's a name that I don't recognize, there has not been a wide receiver to ever win.
And you're MVP. 45, so you would know.
You know what? I pray the day you get to my age, and I'm gonna really be 45 at that point. So, all right, heading back here to the draft because I'm gonna just choose to let that stuff slide.
Right.
I'm going to take what's relatively a dark horse, although really he kind of almost shouldn't be a dark horse, provided he stays healthy and the ball bounces the right way for the Carolina Panthers, and that's Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
I'll take him as my running back. He is going to be my running back spot for MVP here. And I think realistically, if the Panthers can make the playoffs or, God forbid, win the division, and it's because of him, he should strongly be considered.
I love that pick. That was my second flex option because you stole the first one. Okay, cool. Not thinking of flex. So you have to pick a wide receiver, so I might have to do that for you. But then again, that becomes a stupid flex pick. I probably am going to need another quarterback here. So I'm going to have to do a quarterback. I'm going to say... This is tough. I didn't plan for you stealing both those guys. Boo! Okay. I'm going to throw this one out there, and I'm going to go with Tom Brady.
Oh, what? Oh, man, you had Justin Herbert sitting right there on the table.
No, Aaron Rodgers was a better pick, but I'll go Tom Brady.
Yikes. All right,
Because of
well,
voter
yes,
fatigue.
I do have to pick a wide receiver, so I might as well pick one of the best ones in the game and one of the ones who has started out his career absolutely incredible, and that's Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was either him or Cup, but I think Justin Jefferson has a real ability to. Again, none of these wide receivers are winning MVP, but I mean, if Cooper Cup doesn't win it with a triple crown, nobody's winning it as a wide receiver. But give me
Right.
Justin Jefferson, and that rounds out my core four for the NFL MVP this year.
Good water, by the way. Core. Get them on board
Exactly.
sponsorship. Let's do it.
All right, it's time for the AM Drive 5. I'm going to go ahead and rattle off of my
Go ahead.
5 picks here. Where'd my other one go? There it is.
Oh.
Okay. I have my notes here. I had to switch from MVP picks to notes. So, all right, I'm going to rattle them off here real quick. As you guys know, I had Arkansas minus, now 6.5 in the AM Drive 5 when we talked about early in the show. So, Arkansas minus, I had 7 over Cincinnati. Michigan State, Western Michigan, I'm going to take the under 54.5 in that spot. Mississippi State, I'm going to lay the 17 with them over Memphis. Will Rogers is real fun to watch. So if you get a chance to watch this one, watch Will Rogers play. USF, rivalry. I'm going to take them plus 12 versus BYU. I'm not super high on BYU this year. So I'll take South Florida to get a close loss, let's call it. And then a money line underdog of the week. This ain't your Malik Willis's Liberty team. They're going to go down and play Southern Miss. I think Southern Miss is going to get them. Plus 145 over Liberty and Hugh Freeze. That's my AM Drive 5.
Fair enough. So that was 5, right?
That was 5, yeah.
I'm proud of you. My picks are going to be number 9, Oklahoma, laying the 3-0 against Texas El Paso, UTEP. Rice. Love Rice. It's boring. Plus 33 versus number 14, USC, and the plug-and-play Trojans. Utah State plus 42 versus the complacent second half Alabama team. Georgia State, hello, locals, plus 12.5 versus South Carolina Gamecocks. And North Carolina Tar Heels and Appalachian State in a shootout of over 56.
Like it. I can dig it.
Thank you.
I can dig it. All right, that's going to do it here for us on this Friday edition. Enjoy the college football games. Yeah. Mike and Sammy will be back for Action Monday, recapping it all, plus their best and worst of the weekend. Don't forget, we had big news in the NBA. Mike and Sammy are going to discuss it. Spider Mitchell headed to Cleveland.
This is for you.
All that and more, of course, on the AM Drive. But in the meantime, in between time, support us at MikeandAaronDrive.com, the socials, the sponsors, the YouTube, all of it. So for Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the football. And as always,